Welcome back to 1.2 Drink Up Podcast. Hola,
Yay!
hola, hola. I'm Nati.
Money.
Yes, welcome back to this week's episode. How are you, my sweet darling? Have you had any random thoughts as of late?
I have, and it's in hand with my current state of being, and that is that a girly tired. I'm tired. Why am I tired? I will answer the question you did not ask me. Yesterday, I woke up at 7 because I stayed over at mine, so I dropped them off at school. Woke up at
Okay.
7. Today, woke up at 8 because it was his graduation. My nephew's graduation.
You.
Yes, very cute. Love the boy so much. I am not a morning person. Waking up early, like no matter how much sleep I get the night before, but waking up early just drains everything out of me.
I feel you on that because I'm also not a morning person. The only time I'm ever a morning person and excited is when I'm traveling, and then after that, I'm like, "The what we doing here? Why are we up
Yeah.
in these ungodly hours?"
No, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, the few times I'm fine fit is traveling. Other than that, it's I wake up and I'm tired. Like I'm not one to nap. I don't really need naps. I hardly ever nap. But waking up early makes me feel like I need to take a nap now.
Ooh, maybe after this you could take a little nappy poo.
Mayhaps. Again, my issue is like even though I'm tired enough to nap, whenever I try to nap, my brain's like, "We're not going to sleep right now. What are you doing?"
Yeah, yeah. No, I've noticed that I'm only able to nap, but I don't think this is a good time to be napping. Is if I go like right after work, like around
Hmm.
that 5 p.m. till 7ish era.
Mm.
Oh yeah, my body really be loving those. But I'm like, that's not a good time because that's too close to sleepy time. Even though I've
Mhm.
been going to sleep man late, but still, I'm like, that's too close. Now I'm not gonna be able to sleep ever. So
See, this is why Argentina got it right. Argentina has that nap during lunch, where like it makes sense. You know, you had too much food, you lay down a little, you take a nappy nap, and then you go back energized for the rest of the workday.
well, that was actually it's not just Argentina. That's Latin America in general. Because
Very true,
my
and some of Europe.
yeah, because back I mean I don't think they do it nowadays anymore, but at least back in the day, my parents always tell me that both Peru and DR like they that was the thing. Like because my grandfather
Mm.
would come home, and of course, which makes sense because all these countries were colonized, so that's what they would
Mhm.
do. But yeah, yeah, naps. They would go take the nap because my mom, I mean, I don't think you've seen that side of her, but she's really loud. Like she's really loud when she talks, even normally. And so, uh,
Word,
oh yeah,
Margarita.
yeah. The
Mark
joke.
Demure Mrs. Margarita.
Oh yeah, she loud, bro. Like we apparently they used to bug her, because she's like, you know her. She's Blanquita. But
Mm-hmm.
my grandma used to be like, piel blanca, voz de negra, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, that's crazy. But yeah, because
Oh my
she was
god,
real
that's wild.
loud.
That's crazy. I cannot picture a
Picture
loud
that.
Margarita. She's always so, delicate when she talks to
Yeah,
us. She's
yeah.
like, I no, no, no.
Yeah, no, she's very I always say like if she's when she's first meeting people or even for a long time, she knows how to act the part. She's very chill, very quiet, whatever. And I'm like, girl, you do not know that woman. That woman,
That's
she loud.
crazy.
She loud. Which is funny because sometimes, like, although I'm not super loud, I do feel like sometimes I get a little rowdy. So when she's
Uh-huh.
like, "You gotta be a lady," I'm like, "Ma'am, I grew up with you who's
That's
loud."
funny.
Yeah,
That's I'm
I
gonna be
know,
looking at
right?
Margarita
It's
in a whole
mind
new light now. I'm
boggling.
like, you're lying to me right now, woman. I know you can get loud. The soft voice isn't you.
Yeah. Like for example, when we hang out with my aunt, my tia Eunice and my cousin Ruben, yeah, she be loud. She be loud. She be fitting in with the Dominicans real well.
Oh my god, I need to see this now.
We'll see. What's it called? I think we just have to spend like a good chunk of time with her because
Uh-huh.
I think
Get her
that's
the
all.
fences down.
Yeah. Maybe if and when I do my birthday trip and if you're
Uh-huh.
around, you'll be around her more. So it'll
Okay,
it'll end
okay,
up
okay,
working
okay.
out like
Okay.
that. But
Um,
wait, how the hell did we get to loudness?
Um, because we were
Oh, yeah, yeah,
napping.
yeah, yeah, the naps, the naps.
Uh,
So when she was young, my grandmother would get mad because she'd be like, "You need to shut the fuck up because your father needs to nap before he goes back to work. But if you're being
I.
loud, yeah, that's where I'm like, I know I'm not just randomly talking about my mama's loudness for no reason. Wow, oh, wow. And that audience is how you know that when I say I have ADHD, I ain't fronting, bro. I don't need the test. I know it's there.
That's hilarious, man. Even I sometimes lose track of it with how many times we take.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was gonna say, cool. Do you have anything else to add with your random thought?
Yes, but yeah, so from this tiredness, right? I had the
Hmm.
thought that I'm like, bro, the reason I'm so tired is because anyone everyone like focuses their day based on like a 9 to 5 schedule, right?
Right, right. Yeah.
But I'm like, what if we just function like 24/7, you know? Like you had
Well,
24 hours in a day to do your work and shit, and like you just did it when you did it, so you don't have to wake up early. Now, mind you, now I know there are exceptions, right? Because obviously kids don't work at night. I mean, kids, there is just better times for kids to learn, and that is in the mornings, right?
sure,
Okay,
sure.
but like other people, I'm like, if I could sleep in and just do my work at night, life would be 10 times better for me.
Well, you do. I don't know if you knew this, but I
What?
heard or read that apparently, the time or like the work time is based on how a man's body actually best functions, right? With men that kind of like they have that hyperactivity when they first wake up versus later versus
Girl,
with
don't
women
piss me off right now.
versus with I perfect because it goes into the topic we were talking about.
Oh my
But
god. You mean
versus
I'm
with women.
exhausted because of fucking men? I could
Yeah,
scream right now.
because
I could
think of
scream.
it like this, right? You know how like us with our periods and shit, we have our
Yeah.
weeks where we have our more productive weeks, then we have a bit of downtime, and then we have the real downtime that it's really hard to be productive, right? That's
Uh-huh.
how it is in a woman's body, and in general, that does influence your work or even
Yeah.
just lifestyle. So
And
with
productivity,
men,
yes.
they kind of do that self-regulating all day. That's how their body works all day. So they have the up or like they're better off high energy, high everything in the morning, then they start bringing down, bringing down, bringing down, which just makes sense why work was set up like that. Versus with us women, it's like it really just depends on the month, right? Or not the month, the time of the month. And so
Mm-hmm.
we'll have our weeks where I don't know if you felt this, but when you're like, at least for me at work, I'm super productive. Like I'm on my
Mm-hmm.
shit. And then there's other times where I'm like, I'm so tired, I'm so this, I'm so that. And again,
Mm-hmm.
that just has to do. So it's been set up like that because again, we live in a world focused on men.
That really was.
So
This is
you
so
bring in,
intentional. But yeah, this is such a great segue into the actual topic. Oh my God, pissing me off. But first, I
yeah.
would love to hear about your random thought if you have one, baby.
Yes, I do have one. My random thought, and it's
Mm-hmm.
more of a question, right? If
Okay.
you had to stick to one side for all your meals, right? Like, so your protein, like, let's say you always have like a protein and a salad, right?
Oh.
But you had to pick one carb that is what
Um,
you're going to eat forever.
okay.
What
Ooh.
would be the carb?
Oh my God. Nah, girl. Cause like you got mashed. Like I know you don't like him, but I love a
And
mashed potato, right?
you don't gotta pick a single dish. It could be like all types of rice, all types of
Oh.
sweet potatoes, all
Oh.
types of
Oh.
potatoes.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. You made it easier. It's still kind of tricky, but it still made it easier.
Okay.
But I'm gonna have to say potatoes then, because like while rice is like a close second,
Yeah.
I have more dishes that I would prefer to eat with potatoes than I prefer to eat with rice.
Okay. Interesting. See, for me, I think I would choose it opposite. So I would
Mhm.
actually go for rice. Even though I don't eat rice on the regular like that, yo siempre like
Okay.
because cuidándome and shit like that. So I'm like, okay, so no rice for me. Um, But yeah, I very much would do rice more. There's so many dishes that I'm like, oof, a little side of rice and I'm happy. I'm good. I'm content.
Mhm.
And then there's also different types of rice. So I'm like, I see the potato, right? And I feel like I'm betraying my Peruvian roots by saying rice instead of potato because
Right.
I fucked heavy with a potato, girl. I fucked
Right.
heavy
Because
with a
my logic is some of the things that I would want a rice for can be substituted with potatoes, right? Like when your mama makes her meat, right? And it got that sauciness that you just with that rice.
mm-hmm.
Now it's not the same, but with some mashed potatoes that'll soak it up, I'm
Nope,
happy. I'm
nope.
happy. Again, you don't like mashed potatoes, but I
No,
love them.
but
So for
even
me,
like, because
that'll
I'm
be a
thinking,
fair substitute.
no, because
It's not as
I
good,
get
but
that, but like no, I don't like mashed potatoes. Although I've recently been having a bit more of mashed potatoes, and I'm like, as long as I have a good garlic in it, I'm Gucci. I'll eat the whole thing up.
uh-huh.
But for me, you painted it perfectly. But growing up, my favorite part, like I like me my meats and stuff, but
Yeah.
when my mom would make like them beef stews, anything like that, I need me my rice to soak that up. Like
Yeah.
there is nothing more than I look forward to because when my mom serves me, she'll sort of like, let's say when she's cooking something like that, she'll serve me rice,
Mhm.
my meat, and she'll put a side of like yuca or potatoes, right?
Mhm.
And then she knows that she'll put a little extra of the meat juice on my rice. And
Mhm.
the way that is the first scoop I get. I'm not trying whatever proteins on there first. My first scoop is my rice with my juice. So to think that,
That's fair.
yeah, no, like
Yo,
that.
one of the
Oh,
best bites though, one of the best bites is that last bit of rice that's just like doused in the
juicy,
juices. And
juicy,
like
bro.
that's gonna be packed with flavor.
Yeah, like I don't know if you remember, but now when we were in Canada, that we went to the Indian spot,
Yeah.
that we really enjoyed my the sauce on my food,
Mhm.
but I was literally at one point just dousing my like because I had run out of meat, which is good. I was good. I was happy because the meat was delicious and whatever.
Yeah.
I no longer even had non. No, I still had a little bit of non bread. I was serving myself rice, the sauce, a little bit of yo sauce because the sauces mixed together was good, and then I was
Yeah.
scooping that onto my naan and eating that. I was like, oh, I was so happy, so happy. But yeah.
Again, I do love rice. I appreciate rice. I have rice often, almost all the time.
Uh huh.
It's I still like put mashed potatoes, French fries, and then all the dishes my mama been making, like a tortilla de papa, a pastel de papa.
Oh yeah. You've made us the. I would love for you to make the tortilla papa one of these days again because that shit was busted, bro.
Okay, I have a whole list of things I need to make for y'all.
So funny. But yeah, no, girl, you know I like me my sauce on my rice, and I get
Mhm.
the whole potato thing, and you're gonna make me my little pastel de papa, and it's gonna be
Mhm.
great. It's gonna be Gucci. Yeah, no, that was
Yes.
it. That was it. I was thinking about it because yesterday, my mama
Yeah.
made a little, we call it morito. It's like, your
Okay.
rice mixed, like it's a mixed rice with like beans and shit, and it had little pork
Yum.
bits. Yeah, it was real good.
Yum.
But she made it after I had already ate because again, I normally don't eat whatever she's cooking.
Mhm.
Since it doesn't really fit what I'm trying to like, what are my macros and
Yeah.
shit. And so she goes, "Oh, I'm sorry. Is it okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, no, go off." I'm like, "It's okay, mama. Do your thing." Because she wasn't doing it full out, but she was still whatever, right? I got
Yeah.
back home from going out yesterday and I served me a little plate and it was awesome. And I was like, oh, and so she peeped and she was like, "Oh, was it good?" I was like, "Yeah, it was real good." And so she was telling me, she's like, "I know you have a few things lined up." Because every now and then she'll ask me, either once a month or twice a month, she'll be like, "What do you want me to cook? Like a home meal that, it's like your cheat day type shit, right?"
Mhm.
So we haven't done that for June because I've been away a lot. And so then July I have something coming up. So I was like, "Oh, can we hold off on it?" And she was like, "Yeah, sure, no problem. Like, you're good." And so she was asking me, and she's like, "I think I'm gonna stick to making you like a type of rice. So here are your options." And it was like the arroz con gris, which is like the Cuban style, like what the rice with the black beans in it. I love
Mm.
that shit, bro. I fucking love it. and my mom's been able to like do pretty good, like close to how Cubans make it. So she
Oh,
was like, "That's your option." Then in
yeah,
Peru, we have a dish that is called arroz con pollo, but ours is green because they put a lot of cilantro when they're making the rice, and it
nice.
is phenomenal because it has a little kick to it. Oh, it's so good. I'm gonna save you some. I'm gonna save you some when she makes it, right? And then I don't even remember what the third option was because I was like, save it all. I want my arroz con pollo. Like I oh, it's so good because we serve it with the little like onion and tomato salad. Oh, that should be buzzing, bro. It's so fucking good.
You're making me hungry now. We need to move this along.
Okay, we
Because
can.
of the same breath, I'm like, yo, we need to go back to the Peruvian spot y'all took me to. And speaking
Yes.
of all this rice and with the juices, and I'm thinking that's what I ordered last time, and I'm like, yo, that would smack right now.
Yeah, yeah. No, we definitely do. We'll plan it.
Ugh.
Because I yeah. We also,
The way
you
I'm
know,
fighting the urge to just drive over real quick and pick up a plate right now.
you can. Because we already busting, bro. Listen,
Stop, I have a meal plan.
that's funny. That's funny. All right. So let's jump into the topic that
Yes.
yeah, your random thought kind of not hinted at it, but definitely touched upon it.
Yeah, it was a
That
good
you
gateway.
Yes, and so essentially, we're going to be discussing feminism
Yeah.
versus misandry, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and you know, go into the definitions, kind of our little takes on it, right? I always say, or we've always sometimes say, take our opinions with a grain of salt, because at the end of the day, is just our opinions. And although
Yeah.
we might think you're wrong for not agreeing with it, that doesn't mean you know you're a little dumb, but it's okay. It's not okay, but it's not okay. But you know, we don't think that our word's the ultimate last word in life. We think it's the last word in our lives, but not in life general. Okay, okay. Like I anyway, right? Because like
That
I'm not
was
gonna.
like the best opening ever.
No, because like let's be honest, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, "Oh yeah, I'm completely right and you're completely." No, that's not life, and that's not how it works. There's different people for
Correct,
different reasons.
correct. But
But
some
then at
people
the
definitely need to
same
rethink where they stand.
right, but in the same breath, some people do have dumb opinions, or some opinions. If I hear them, I'm like, "Wow, you stupid, stupid." Okay, great.
Word, no word though. Um,
Um, but yeah, so
so
let's yeah, go off. Let's go into the definition. Well, what made you? Because you kind of we've been saying like we have a little list of topics that we're gonna do, but what made you
uh-huh.
pick this one? Did anything spark the inspiration?
Um, it was, I think I just remember like a discussion I had not so long ago, which I'm pretty sure I referenced to you guys before, that
Okay.
I said I made the blanket comment, oh man, fuck all men, right? And then this
Mm-hmm.
person I was talking to got defensive, and they're like, well, no, not all men. Like I know some really whatever. I'm not even gonna go into that bullshit.
Yeah.
Because in my mind, I was like, for the people that understand what the fuck I mean, you know what the fuck I mean, right? Because no,
Yeah.
it's not
Yeah.
all men, but but it's always a man,
Oh man. Yeah. Yeah.
right? And so this
Yeah.
person was like, "Oh my god, like people just want to rag on men and shit." Mind you, this person was a woman, pissing me off even more.
Oh, it's a lot of internalized misogyny, babe.
And exactly, and so they're like, "No, like that's like how you say it, like that's just true and shit." And they're like, "Oh my god, this is like what it is with feminism." And I was like, "No. Don't get it twisted." I'm like, "Misandrist over here, no feminism. This is misandry.
Yeah.
Feminism is equal rights. I don't."
And that's the part that always it baffles me, right? Because you see a lot of like those red pill type content try to
Yeah.
blame, oh, because of feminism is that this is happening. I'm like, babes, feminism helps you too.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm saying men don't deserve rights. That's misandry. There's a difference. Feminism is everyone deserves rights.
yeah, no, it really is. It really is.
Uh-huh.
I was gonna say it's funny, and again, we're gonna go into the definitions of both. But before we go that, it's funny you bring up that whole fuck these men, because I actually had a conversation recently, or somewhat
Yeah.
recently, that again I said something similar. I'm like, yo, fuck these men, right?
Yeah.
And the person tried to be all smart and be like, when you say that, are you even thinking about your father? Because you know I love my parents, right? I love my parents to death. I will ride or die for them, bro. Like these and
Right.
it's right in even like specifically like my mama, my dad love the like they're just life, right? So
Yeah.
they were trying to be smart about it. And I looked at that person and I was like, he's included. Don't get me wrong. I love
Uh
my
huh.
father. I respect my father. I understand why my father is the way he is.
Uh
But
huh.
at the end of the day, I know that a lot of the times, certain opinions that I have about men, certain even kind of like little red flags that I may have, or certain traumas I may have,
Uh
are
huh.
because of that man. I love that man. But that is the only man that I am as subservient as I am. Like I will
Uh
like
huh.
oh my goodness. So I literally looked at them. I'm like, bitch, he's included. Like the fuck?
Yeah. No, I would love for a bitch to try and think they got me with that one.
yeah.
I'm like, bitch, that creature, that sperm donor deserves less rights than a fucking ant. All right. Don't even get me started on that one.
Yeah, yeah. And I see and I think a lot of the times people automatically assume that people that well, like for example in your case that you do not have that relationship with your father, that's
Yeah.
why they have that opinion versus people like, I always say I had a very present father. I cannot sit
Yeah.
here and bitch about oh my
You
no,
his little princess too.
I am his little princess, but goddamn, he's turned into the princess. Like he's you know what? My father's funny because he'll be like, I want you dressed all cute and pretty and life be great for you, like Cinderella, but like also do everything for me because
Mm.
you are now mother. You are mother, I am child. But this has been
Mm.
going on since I was a teenager, right? But anyway, we're not
Mhm.
gonna go into all that. We're not gonna go into my little trauma. But I'm like, listen, I love my dad. I would do anything for my dad. But at the end of the day, he's a man and I see how he behaves as a man. And I'm like,
Yeah.
just because I understand you don't mean that I ain't gonna hold you accountable, man, my dudes. But
Word.
yeah, so whenever I hear that, I'm like, you do realize a lot of the women, they're like, yeah, fuck that man too. Like, is he's included. Um, but yeah, no, those topics are interesting. I was gonna say I have the definitions for both.
Yes. Let's get
Let
factual for a
yeah,
second.
yeah. So let's get factual for a second, and then we'll diverge into our silly goosiness as per usual. So feminism is defined as a range of socio-political movements and ideologies dedicated to achieving equal political, economic, personal, and social rights for women, and has been focused on actually striking to level the playing field so all genders have equal opportunities, right?
All genders.
Yes. So it
Let's
started
take
off
note.
Yes, it started off focusing on the equal rights of women and then has gone more into gender equality um and everything that comes in with that, right? And it's
Hmm.
something that has been going on for a long time with the women's suffrage in the late 19th and 20th and early 20th century and then has continues being something that has been, you know, going on and that we continuously try to make better and at the end of the day it's trying to make better the world for everyone, right? So
Yeah.
that's feminism. Now misandry is defined as the hatred, contempt, or prejudice against men and boys, right?
Hmm.
Specifically having it kind of, you know what, if we're going to look at the opposite of misogyny, misandry would fit in it. The only difference is that all we're doing is talking shit versus with misogyny women are actually facing violence, right?
Yeah.
Because we're not out here and it's very like I'm pretty sure there is someone that's out here hurting men like that, right, we're not going to deny that, but at the end of
Hmm.
the day when you look at it statistically women are the ones that are undergoing violence so much more so due to misogyny and due to the
Yeah.
current world that we're living in. Yeah.
I saw like one girl on TikTok describe it well, right? That misandry hurts men's feelings, right?
Yeah.
While misogyny kills women.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it really just goes down uh breaks down or is as simple as that because we see that throughout history and even still now there's just so much violence against women, right? That's why
Yeah.
there's that whole topic of do you choose the bear or the man, and at the end of the day
Dude,
women are choosing the bear and I'm like, bro, we rather be in a forest with a fucking bear that
Yeah.
could easily maul us, but they might not. Versus being anywhere with a man, like
Hmm.
I don't
No,
know.
that has babes. Literally, yesterday, if not the day before, I was scrolling on TikTok and there's this one article that posts about things happening in my area.
Hmm.
3 women had
I saw
acid
that.
thrown on them
Yes, I
just
saw
because
you
they
sent it to us.
rejected some
Yeah,
fucking man.
yeah, yeah. Just
No,
for
it was
rejection.
3 women and 3 young girls,
Hmm.
right? Is that accurate?
I believe it was. I like saw it, and I was more listening to the like where it was
Uh
and
huh.
what started and whatever. But yes, I do believe it was that. Yeah,
Like it's happening every fucking day that women are being, right, like abused or fucking basically tortured
yeah.
or injured because of men
Because
and their misogynistic beliefs that they
yeah.
have
And
rights.
wounded egos. It comes down sometimes
Yeah,
to just as simple as a wounded ego, and it's like,
yeah,
why are we doing this? Why is this? Oh, fudge! I see what I did wrong. Sorry. Why? I don't like. Just again, it all just
yeah.
comes down to a fragile ego, you know.
Yeah,
Uh,
but point me to an article where, again, not to say that it's not happening, but I'm definitely not hearing about it of women hurting men out of nowhere.
Yeah, yeah. And even if it were provoked, it's not like it's again statistically the amount of times that it happens is so much lower than the violence against women. It's so interesting because people like I think a place that I constantly have to have this conversation is in the dance community, right?
Yeah.
Because it is built on I kind of mentioned it one of the last times there's a lot of misogyny actually in it,
Yes.
and that a lot of the times there's guys that they're like especially people like now that I'm in a class where a lot of people are starting out, um they say like, oh, I want to become a better dancer, but a lot of these other like the follows are saying no to me, and so I'm now hurt and whatever, and like she could just easily say no, or like, but then it's also automatically then assumed like, oh, like this girl, she's mean because she always says no, and I'm like, but why does she have to say yes to you? Like,
Yeah.
I understand that we're dancing and all that, but if a woman is choosing that she does not want to say dance with you, and she repeatedly does it with, let's say, the kind of the take is usually a lot of women that do that are saying no to beginners, right? And it's simply
Okay.
that they want to dance with a more advanced dancer. And I'm like, but okay, there's other dancers, right? Like I get that the rejection hurts or whatever, but at the
Yeah.
end of the day, it's just dancing. Just go ask another B, right? And so a lot of the times, even as a woman, like sometimes I do find myself not saying no because I'm like, I don't know this man. What if I say no and then I go out to my car and then he fucking does something to me, right? And it's
Mhm.
not, and people be like, oh, you're taking it to extremes. I'm like, but I don't know this person. And again, it happens. So
Yeah.
how am I supposed to gauge when I can or can't say no, or even how to say no, right? But there's a guy in our dance group who painted it or like said it very well, which sometimes I'm like, why do you have to hear it from another man to believe
Yeah.
women?
That shit
Like,
pisses me off.
yeah, but he was saying he's like, if you're taking no so to heart at the end of the day, then you should be looking inward, right? Because we're just dancing. This is just for fun. And a lot of these time, these women have had negative experiences because there are creeps, there are weirdos, not just in general life, but also in dance. And so if you have a certain look, if you have a certain take to how you're approaching the women, then of course they're gonna want to say no, or if they just want to say no. Like he's like, I don't like, he was very much like trying to like get to them or understand like, why are you so hurt that this woman said
Yeah.
that? And mind you, all the women are like said, because it was on WhatsApp, so you can reply with the little emojis on the converse, like on the actual message. So
Yeah.
everyone was like praising him and shit. And then of course there's always one woman. And she was like, but we have to think about their feelings too, because why do we have to be bitches? And I'm like, who?
Delete messages. Delete the message.
Oh, I was just like, girl, shut the fuck up. I'm
Kind
like,
of fucking pick me bullshit.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And again, because in some, I don't understand. There's some guys that are not trying to be weirdos, but I'm always like, you gotta be mindful, one, of the world that you're living in. how you're coming
Yeah.
across. And if you generally don't want to make someone uncomfortable, then you have to be considerate of all these thoughts, which I feel like that's not a big deal. Like I feel like that's not regular. If I'm talking or conversating with someone, I will be mindful of what I'm saying, regardless if you're a woman or a man, because I'm not out
Mhm.
here trying to be a douche.
Or a
So
creep.
yeah, so then when people like are like, "Oh, that's so much work," I'm like, "You mean having societal cues? Like, what are you talking about here?"
Human
Oh,
decency is a struggle.
huh? Humans,
Human
yeah,
decency.
yeah. Some people are like, I think I think Noel says it all the time. Like for common sense, it's not so common because Jesus Christ, it's
Yeah.
people. Like, but anyway, yeah, no. So it's interesting to see because you like you said with feminism, it's I mean not feminism. I'm sorry with misandry, we're just hurting people's feelings and
Which they can do because again, these fragile egos gotta go. All right.
I also think I was gonna say um I love the saying, always humble a man. I don't li it's not that
Yeah.
I'm out here humbling men left and right? Like, I'm not a weenie bobini, but at the same time, when there's certain men that I will humble, and there's certain men that I will help, praise, whatever, and stuff. Although I've always it's always happened. Luckily, it hasn't happened as of late. But the minute that I'm like, I'll compliment a man, be like, "That's a good man." They'll go and show me exactly why I shouldn't be complimenting them, and I'm like.
Every time. Every time.
You gonna catch hands? You gonna catch hands. But you can't catch hands because, or what better said, I'm not gonna throw hands because then again, that's violent. So I'm just
Mhm.
gonna hurt you with my words.
Mhm. Mhm. Um. Yeah. No. Some men. Some men. And again, this is why now between feminism and misandry,
Mm.
obviously I believe humans in general deserve basic human rights.
Yeah.
And unfortunately men fall into that category of basic human rights, right? And so at a large feminist, right? But
Yeah.
like on a personal level, misandrous because a lot of them assholes. I'm like
That's what they are.
you
They're
you
assholes, bro.
need my god again and again if you're listening to this and you're taking offense you're in that subcategory because if you
Yeah.
I know for a
The
fact if
good
Manny
I
listened to
always
this shit.
I always
Manny, he'd
say,
be like, yeah, there's some bad ones out there for sure.
yeah,
He
like
wouldn't take offense to any of this shit.
no, the amount of
And he
like
knows
the
exactly what we mean.
the genuinely good noodles will sit there and because they know we're not talking about them. I'm not when I'm talking about these fuck these men. I ain't talking about Manny. I ain't talking about my
Yeah,
other homeboys that are no I know are good noodles. But if you're gonna sit
yeah.
there and actually be like, oh, but nah, don't if you hit me with an oh but nah, I'm gonna show you what misandry is. No, I'm kidding. I'm not. Jokes,
No,
jokes.
because again, we're fucking decent people.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, no. There's a lot of guys that do just they get so butthurt and I'm like, why are you so hurt right now? Like it's not
Yeah,
like it is that deep, but at the same time, I ain't like again, I don't know how else to explain it besides I ain't talking about you, ho. But because you're kind of hurt now, I'm like, should I be talking about you? Like, or is this something that I
exactly.
should be addressing?
It's very telling when I be like, well, fuck these men. And someone's like, oh, but it tells me exactly where you align yourself. And enough said. And enough said.
Yeah, and again, a lot of the time when we're saying, and again, I do understand that there's people that take it way, way, way extreme, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, when let's say when we're talking about it and we're like, fuck these men, we're talking about, oh, they did this, they did that, so that's why fuck these guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not like we're out here saying, oh, let's go and off with all men, right? I would understand someone being like, wait, hold on, pause, because I understand. Like I like, that's a bit of a like
Yeah.
what we're doing here. We're taking a
Yeah, yeah,
bigger,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. That's not what we're doing. Is there people that are
Mm-hmm.
doing it? Probably. But the majority of time when women are talking or like saying fuck these men, it's literally just these men suck. And people are like, no. I'm like, yes, very much so. You
Like
know?
every single day they prove why we say fuck these men.
Funny enough, so the other day I was hanging out with one of my guy friends, and they were, they were asking me like how dating's going and all that stuff, and it was funny because I did tell
Hmm.
them the whole oh fuck these men, and well no, I
Yeah,
went a little more into detail, right? I was like, oh, like it sucks, this is going on, blah blah blah, and I ended with yeah, fuck these men, and so he giggled and he goes, yeah, he's like, I'm not gonna front with you because he was also telling me about like his dating stuff. And he goes,
yeah.
I ain't going front with you. I think I'm the problem. And so he's like, so you saying fuck these men? He's like, you know what? You're probably right because I know I'm the issue. So I'm pretty sure, although they're not self-aware, all of these men are the issue. And I'm like, see, there you go.
Interesting.
Yeah, yeah,
Interesting today.
yeah.
I'm
Mind you, it
self-aware
was
of shit.
yeah, no, and it was funny because when he actually went into why
Yeah.
he thinks he's the issue, I'm like, I don't really think that's an issue, right? Because he he's being upfront with how he's feeling
Uh-huh.
towards dating and all that. And I'm like, I don't know, fam. I feel like you're going about it the way I do. I don't know if that's the right way, but it sounds kosher to me, fam. So but yeah,
That's
but see, and I
hilarious.
was like, see, you get it. You get it. The math is mathing up there. The logic is logicking. But yeah, do you there's so much more we can go into. Well, we kind of honed in on misandry. Do you want to add anything towards feminism? Be it just I don't know.
Yeah, I really need people, and it pisses me off. I really need people to understand that it means equality for all genders. Okay, like we said in the
For all,
beginning,
yeah.
there
Yeah.
are some dumbasses that want to confuse it for misandry. They're like, oh, the women that are feminists, like they just want to hate on men. I'm like, no, 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 that's a misandrist. Okay, just fucking Google will tell you the difference of the two. Okay, because
Yeah.
don't be like, oh, I'm not a feminist because I don't hate men, and I'm like, that's not what again, it could be on a whole tangent. I really just need people to like put on their like listening ears
Yeah.
and understand the big difference between the two of them. Okay,
Well,
and if someone is claiming to be a feminist and they're like, oh, but I hate men, like me, they're misandrist, which I am.
I was gonna say too,
I'm
I think a
self-aware.
lot of the time, if I'm honest, it's not that they're not because they're hearing it, right? It's not like it's not out there. It's not like people are not explaining these differences. They don't care. They just want they have issues. They instead of addressing their issues, instead of
Hmm.
being self-reflective and realizing how whatever is going on in life is not affected because yeah, I'm pretty sure it's affected by the world, but it
Hmm.
also is a big chunk on them. And instead of just being aware of that, they're like, let me blame something. And so, of course, who's going to take the blame at the end of the day? A woman. So,
Mm.
they'll go and just say, oh, yeah, it's feminism. And then if you go and hit them with the, well, actually, no, it's this and that, they're just going to brush it off. They're not going to care because, again, they're just looking for something to blame, not actually understand the problem. Because understanding the problem would mean that they have to go and figure out, okay, well, this is what I have internalized, this is what I have to address. And of course, that's too much work. And sadly, there's people out that they don't not that they don't care, they're just not thinking about it like that, right? So you will like there's men like this that will be able to go out and find a partner, and I say partner because this that it's not just in heterosexual men. This happens a
Yeah.
lot also with queer people. But they will find people that are okay, and they'll just like, oh, he laugh at the joke or pass or just don't make an issue of it. So they're like, oh, why do I have to go and make the effort to educate myself when I know someone out there is just gonna be okay with whatever stupid shit I'm on, you know?
True.
Yeah, which sucks. Don't. That's why, like, I think one of that this a movement that has stemmed from feminism, if I'm not mistaken,
Mm.
has been the 4B movement in, I believe, South Korea,
Oh
where
yes.
women are just choosing to not date men, and you're seeing it a lot common. Like it's been
Yeah.
more prominent there, but you see it throughout. Like I
Yeah, it's
know a
definitely
lot of
spreading.
it is, and I think it's phenomenal. I think it's also a big chunk of it comes to from women are just genuinely happier enjoying their lives as is as single women.
Yeah.
That again, prior to the need for men was more of an economical move. but we no longer need them, right? And so if you want to date someone, or if you choose to date someone, is because they're actually bringing value to the relationship. Um,
Hmm.
and men don't like that. They don't like
Yeah.
the fact that standards are a lot higher now.
No, because men want to be entitled children.
Yeah, yeah, and to be not even never defending a man, but I was gonna say, a lot of the reasons why this also happens is because they're growing up seeing, especially like let's say men from maybe our generation, maybe a generation before us.
Mm.
So right, like that's kind of like the dating pool that we're in.
Hmm.
Um, is they've grown up with their fathers kind of being okay, whatever, like maybe they were very hardworking, but emotionally they weren't there, or they were
Yeah.
emotionally there, but not necessarily being the man. I hate saying this word, but being the man of the house that they had to help, or better said, they were there emotionally for their partner, but not in a financial way, not necessarily being a whole provider, but at least helping, right? Like the whatever relationship you're trying to go for. But they grew up with these men where at the end of the day, their moms were still going, working at home, doing what they have to do, the cooking, the cleaning, the maintaining the kids, and going out and having a job. So they've grown
Yeah.
up seeing that, seeing, well, see, my mama did all this. Why can't another woman like go and go off? And there are women that want to go do the whole 50-50 and like do all that, and good for you if that's what you want, because that's what feminine fights. If you want to be a trad wife, go off. If you don't want to be a
Yeah.
trad wife, go off, but have
Yeah.
the right to do both, right? But they've grown up with that, so then now they feel entitled to getting a woman like that while also just half-assing or not having had put that work into themselves, their career, anything like that, right? But you know, I don't want to say it is what it is, but that's what we're dealing with, so that's why we're saying fuck these men.
Word. And it's so frustrating because instead of complaining and like, yo, if I hear someone say they'd rather be alone than be with me, or take their chances with their bear than take their chances with me, I'd be like, how fucked up am I?
Yeah.
They
Or
choose
the
that over me.
yeah.
But no, a lot of them want to be like, oh, that person's fucked up because I'm fine.
Yeah.
But they have something going on with themselves. They have their issues that that they're choosing that. Like what?
Yeah. 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 And sometimes too it's something as you kind of said, instead of looking inward, they also not only not looking inward but looking into the community they're around, right? Because um we see it's not just a men thing, but it's a more of a psychological thing, in the sense of you're you're bound to pick up on the same mentality of the people you're hanging around with, right?
Yeah.
Or birds of a feather flock together, right? To
Yeah.
put it simply. So if you start at, like, if men were to start realizing, oh look, women are saying all these things about men, and you're not reflecting and looking at the homies you're hanging out with and holding them accountable. And if you hold them accountable means you're losing that friendship, people are choosing to just let it pass because they rather keep the friendship. But then that's why all this exists, because there's people that are just turning the blind eye, because it's more
Hmm.
comfortable to turn the blind eye than to address it. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying it's something like that is gonna happen naturally. No, you have to have those difficult conversations,
Yeah.
because sadly, a lot of the time, these men are only really kind of like listening when another guy's talking to them. So if you go and talk to your homie and you're like, you see some weird shit and you're like, hey, listen, like you try to address or understand where he's coming from, help him through it, blah, 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 blah. But he's still on his stupid shit. Well, the correct thing would be to cut that bitch off. Right. But no,
Hmm.
people are like, no, but like life and whatever. Or like, I've lived through so much with this friend. I'm like, okay, I get all that, but this friend's not a good person.
Yeah, no,
So,
people don't understand that you can definitely grow out of a friendship, bro.
yes, yes. But then also, not to continue dragging on, but at the same time, there's a lot of people that don't even have the mental place to have these conversations, or their mind doesn't even go there because their mind
Hmm.
can't, not because whatever.
Mhm.
They don't want to. But
And then just like a quick tidbit off of that, a lot of people also would be like, "Oh, I never see this or experience it." So these people, mostly women, are just exaggerating, right? Like they just want to
yeah,
cry wolf. And it's like, no, either you don't see it because thankfully it really just isn't happening around you, or you're
yeah,
just unaware what's happening.
yeah, yeah. That's also another thing. You're just not aware of not like saying in Spanish. My mom always says, "No sabes dónde estás parado," right? And I think
Yeah.
that's even worse. Like you're not even paying attention to
Yeah.
what's going on around you because what are you self-absorbed? Is it easier to not pay attention? Like what exactly are we doing here?
hmm Because
But
the last thing it is an exaggeration, man.
but yeah, do you have any closing remarks?
No, I think I've said my piece.
I feel like I've said my piece too. I feel like the audience knows where we stand in all of this. Uh,
Yeah.
and if you don't, then you have been sitting there listening to us scratching and sniffing at this point because how did you not understand what we were saying? But yeah, if that being said, and again, there's so much more that we can get into, and I feel like Noel would be an interesting take with this.
hmm
Um, so we'll probably dive into it more in future episodes. But if you
hmm
enjoyed this episode, please check out. We have an episode drop every Tuesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Spotify, on YouTube, on iHeartRadio. Any streaming platform you think we're on, we're probably on there. Um, we also, if you want to be a guest, message us, and as long as the three of us agree, you are more than welcome to. And speaking of messaging, we have a TikTok account and we also have an Instagram where you can reach out to us. The Instagram's at 1.2 brain cells underscore official. Do you is there anything that you would want them to write on the comments?
Mm, just like whether or not you agree or disagree on there's a difference, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. If there's a difference, what's your take on it? If you agree or disagree with us, anything from here that you grabs. If you want a little, if you're not being too shy, and you want to share a few stories of whatever y'all have been through. In the sense of like when you say fuck these men or don't say fuck these men or how you feel when you've been hearing fuck these men and whatever take you took on it.
Yeah.
Um, Add it below. And with that being said, toodaloo,
Totally.
hugs and kisses.
Not from me.
Bye.